What is good, YouTube? A little something different, just show you, sometimes I get tired of being on camera, to be honest with you. Not tired, maybe tired is the wrong word, but sometimes I don't want my face on the camera. What is good? Checking in, Robert. I screenshot your comment because I couldn't read it. I'm trying to focus on the road, but I will read it. I give you my word on that. It's all good. That's where the bomb thing was last night. By the way, a little update on that bomb video. I went on live real quick last night, briefly. There was RPD had actually been there for a while, since like noon, and they didn't break down till like 9. What's good, Arizona? All right, I took a screenshot of your email, of your comment with your email. But anyways, that live from last night, if you guys go back, girls, go back one video to titled Rochester NY Police Bomb Squad. I guess they found an old, someone in a house or apartment building or something, found a old vintage, for lack of a better way of putting it, vintage, I believe it was like a war relic, some kind of relic. And I obviously, you know, the concern there being that it was some live explosive or something. So that's understandable, you know, especially if a kid gets his hand on a grenade, or they didn't specify what it was, but it was something about like that. Anyways, today's little video, while you look at some Rochester views on a beautiful Sunday afternoon here, look at that sky. Beautiful little shot of downtown right here. What's good? The New York Jets 15, Geneva in the house. What's up, Jesus? Goodyear, no, I haven't checked out those videos, but I know they're on YouTube. I mean, I've seen them before. Love the views, absolutely. Isn't that pretty? Goodyear says he loves the views. Absolutely. Look at that sky. I'll put the camera up a little bit so you see more of a... Where's your favorite place to get bread in Rochester? You know, that's a great question, because as a kid in Miami, I would go with my dad to all the Cuban bakeries in the morning, especially the weekends, you know. Shout out to all my fans in South Florida, Miami, 305 in the house. Shout out to my man, William. I don't know. I can't really say I got a favorite place, man. I got to be honest. You know, a lot of that, the Palos, yeah, but I haven't gone there in years. To be honest, New York Jets, I don't think I have a place, man. I know, sorry, I know that kind of sucks, but I don't know. I think that's something more I did as a kid with my dad. You know what I mean? The shooting video was crazy. Absolutely, Jesus. Absolutely. Especially when you consider that of all days, that was the day that they were conducting a drill, an emergency drill. So, you know, you got to kind of ponder that and be like, wow. You know, don't forget, that morning started with, what's good? Hello, everyone. To you, Davy, as well. Great work. I took a screenshot of your shout out from Los Angeles. No doubt. LA. Thank you for tuning in. So, you know, when you consider, we're talking about, for those of you tuning in, we're talking about that shooting video a few days ago, Wednesday, actually. Jesus says that was crazy, and it was, especially when you consider that the morning began with all the news outlets reporting, all the Rochester, New York area news outlets here reporting that, you know, that there was going to be a drill, not to be alarmed. You know what I mean? There was going to be a drill, an emergency drill, and a large police presence. Thank you, Goodyear. Nice job, Goodyear says. And, you know, less than 2-3 hours later, literally, all hell broke loose here. And you guys and girls saw the video. If you haven't, scroll back a few videos on my YouTube channel, and you will see that video that Jesus mentioned. Absolutely nuts. Jesus shouting out, Mr. Scientifical. Absolutely. I love when you guys and girls kind of, you know, shout each other out and say hello. Shout out to my man. Yeah, right. I don't see him on the live. But shout out to you, my brother. And actually, in many ways, he's the reason why I'm making this video today. His son, and we'll just call him Junior. Junior, last night, you know, you find out who your friends are, you know, when you need a hand, right? And many of us use the word, this is like a friends video, by the way. Many of us misuse the word friend. What does the word friend mean to each and every one of you? To be honest, you know, and it is my opinion, of course, we can disagree or agree to disagree, right? But to me, the word friend is often misused, and what we really mean is acquaintance. We have a lot of acquaintances, right? Now, you know, people, New York Jets, I got to screenshot that because it's a long comment. You see how people drive here. You see this asshole in the front, what he did. Jesus says, glad you're here. This guy's Davy is. All right, let me take a screenshot of that. I will, Robert. I got you. So, to be honest, most people misuse the word friend. What they really mean is acquaintance. Because friend to me is a very special thing. And it's kind of sad that I got to admit this, but I don't think that I've ever had any real true friends. I've been used by a lot of people who I gave my friendship to, who I trusted, right? Who I gave my trust to, who I confided in, right? One friend that I talked about a while back in a YouTube video, which I haven't done in a while, I'm going to get back into doing my Storytime videos, was a person who I grew up with. And, you know, he did some bad choices. He made some bad choices and went to jail, to prison for a few years. And his own mother disconnected the phone or blocked his number so he wouldn't call collect. Because, you know, I mean, if some of you know personally, family members or friends that have been locked up, when you call, it's collect, right? Call your loved ones, your girlfriend, your wife, your mom, your family, and it's a collect call. And she got to the point where she blocked his calls because she didn't want him basically calling. He was calling too much or whatever. His own brother tried to come on to his own wife on a trip that his brother, so my friend's brother, my friend that was locked up, his brother was taking his wife to see him, which was like an hour drive every weekend. And his own brother came on to his wife. And you know, that's something that, you know, I never violated that trust. You know what I mean? And, you know, so again, I trusted him and he had my trust. You know what I mean? And I thought I had his trust, but basically he violated that trust. You know what I mean? I held him down for over 3 years while he was in prison. I was doing the usual stuff, you know, that a family relative would probably do, send money, put money in his commissary, go visit him, right? Because think about it. That's when you, you know, even Jesus said something like that, you know, in the Bible, that when, not to sound ignorant here, but I don't want to misquote the exact words, but, you know, you find out where your friends are when you visit you know, your friends when they're in prison, when they're in jail. And that's when you find out who's who, right? Listen, when the party's over, right? Let's be real here. Come on, let's be honest. When the party's over and the money's gone, right? Few people stick around. Let's keep it 100. Let's cut right to the chase, right? Let's fuck the bullshit, right? Let's keep it 100 here, right? When the party's over and the money's gone, most friends, and in many times, girlfriends, wives, whatever, you know, they take a hike. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. They're out, nowhere to be found, right? And the same thing goes for, you know, a lot of you maybe can share the same thing about friends. And that's kind of, you know, what happened with me. Not the money, because I've never really had money like that. But my point is that, you know, friends will only be with you sometimes, or be your friend for what you have or what you can offer, right? But you find out who your true friends are, okay? Or people that care about you, okay? Because let's not even use the word friend, because I think that word is so corrupted in many ways, for lack of a better way of putting it. I think that word is kind of played out to the point where it's become so cliche, right? Obviously, it's misused. You know, a real friend, you never have to question loyalty. Abso-fucking-lutely. Thank you, New York Jets 15 from Geneva. Absolutely. And so here's where I'm getting at, because I don't want to get too long-winded here and make a long video, right, and bore you guys, guys and girls. And thank you for tuning in. But here's where I'm going with. Last night I had some car trouble, right? And I'll talk about it more in another video, but because there's several stories behind that incident. But I had some car trouble. You know, I have an older car. I really can't have a nice car. You know, all my cars have been vandalized. All my cars have been broken into. You know, the trolls, the stalkers, you know what I mean? So basically, unfortunately, I always, which is okay. I don't even say unfortunately, because I like an old car anyways. As long as it gets me from, I'm very much a, as long as it gets me from point A to point B and back, or point A and back, or whatever the fuck the saying goes, I'm good. But basically what happened was I had some car trouble, and, you know, first of all, shout out to a young man named Anthony, who stopped in the parking lot where I was. It was like a retail area, and I was, and he stopped. They didn't know me, complete stranger, but hell, you know, he heard the car trying to turn over and not starting, and he came over with his girlfriend or wife or whatever, and you know, he was with a young woman, and very, very nice young man. Never met him in a day of my life. Gave me his number, you know, told me if he can help in any way, kind of gave me some idea of what was going on with the car, but the car still wouldn't start. So shout out to Anthony. Thank you, my brother, if you're watching. I didn't even tell him who I was, or I don't know if he has any idea, you know, about Davy VTV, but thank you again, my brother. Appreciate that, you know, to stop for a total stranger, especially when nowadays we're so consumed with our daily lives and the bullshit, right? Think about it. So for someone to stop for somebody they don't even know, that was very, very special of him. And that was really, really a nice thing to do. But then I called my friend, you know, my friend T, right? There he goes right there on time. Damn, I didn't know you was live. So I called my friend, yeah, right, okay? And, you know, I don't want to give his name out, but his son, we'll call him Junior, right? Junior was there, you know, my friend, yeah, right, basically called his son, and his son was there quick, fast, and in a hurry, and I so much appreciate that, you know, his son has been a fan of the show, so has Yeah Right of the show, of the Davy VTV. I still say show, I apologize. I used to have a cable TV show, Keep It on the Real, in the 1990s on cable and cable access. You know, we had Naughty by Nature, Method Man. Absolutely love you, my brother. And so, you know, I still call it, I still call this a show, because in many ways it is. It's a Davy VTV show. We can call it that, right? But again, to wrap up here, Junior came out, and I hope Junior's watching this. Maybe Yeah Right can kind of hit him up. Can you do that, my brother, while we live? Maybe hit your son up. Let him know that you know, that I really, really appreciate. I already let him know in a text last night, but you know, I really appreciate it, and I'll tell you why. And maybe I'm guilty of it too. I know I'm guilty of it. It's not maybe, I know I am. Oh, he's watching, no doubt. Thank you, Junior. I appreciate you, man. I love you, bro. And you know, I'll be honest, you know, and he knows, because we shared kind of a moment last night. I was with my son when I got stranded, and he knows that I really, really appreciated his gesture of coming out there. You know, he came out there with his brothers and sister, actually, and you know, I don't know what he did. It was that positive energy that my man Yeah Right talks about, that he's talked to me so much about in the last few weeks, few months. And you know, the car started right away, literally. I mean, I couldn't get the car to turn over, and I bullshit you not, I'm far from a mechanic, but I know how to start a fucking car, right? You turn the key on, you put the key in the ignition, and you turn it, right? I mean, it's pretty fucking basic, right? Well, for some reason, the car wouldn't start for me at all. And I kid you not, I'm not exaggerating one bit. And Junior got in there, and I don't know what kind of MacGyver shit he did. I don't know even if he knows MacGyver. MacGyver was a show in the 90s, 80s or 90s. Maybe Yeah Right remembers. I love MacGyver. Those are the shows I grew up with, you know what I mean? And MacGyver would fucking, you know, make it, you know, make whatever out of a pin and a freaking battery or whatever. I mean, he would, yep. Yeah Right says yes, loved it. I love that show. I got to find out where these shows are playing, you know, on TV Land or some kind of reruns, maybe on YouTube, I don't know, but I got to find out, because MacGyver was the shit, just like Chips. You know, Chips was earlier. MacGyver was, I think, in the late 80s, or I want to say late 80s, maybe early 90s. I think late 80s. YouTube, yep. Yeah Right says on YouTube. Absolutely, Robert. A-Team. My shows, listen, not to get off track here, get back to the subject real quick, but my shows was A-Team, Chips, even Emergency, which was an older show, and it was more my brother's time, but still my time. Andy Griffith Show, Greatest American Hero. Those are the shows that Columbo. Yes, I love Columbo. Here, I'll do my classic, my best shot at a Columbo imitation. He walks away, then he comes back. You know what? One more thing. You know, maybe I don't have the voice, but he always had the one more thing. What's good? Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. He always had that one more thing, and that was just his line of questioning, where he would trap people up and get them to. You remember that, right, Robert? To get them to stumble. And yeah, just one more thing, exactly. And I love that. That is fucking classic. Now you guys and girls made me want to go watch some fucking Columbo reruns. See what y'all do to me? Farthest thing from my mind when I made this video. And that's what I love about the energy. Again, like my man, Yeah Right calls it, my friend Yeah Right. The energy that happens when we connect, right? When people from different cities and different parts of the country, and sometimes even different parts of the world. Shout out to all my peoples, all my fans in the UK and all my fans overseas. Oh, the Jefferson. Well, we moving on up to the east side. All right, I'll stop, because I definitely can't sing, but absolutely, the Jeffersons. Family ties, right? Give me a break. What was the Mork and Mindy? Shout out, Mork and Mindy. Laverne and Shirley. Sesame Street, come on. You know, Electric Company. That's where I started, right there. So anyways, back to the video. Back to the subject of the video. Let me keep on track here. Help me out, guys and girls. I gotta stay on track. Gotta stay on track. By the way, we're on Rochester's northwest side. We are on, where the fuck are we? This is Emerson. We are on our Emerson coming up to Dewey. And listen real quick, back to the friend thing. Junior, thank you. I know he's a young man with a very good head on his shoulder, has a great dad, you know, great stepmom. You know what I mean? Shout out to the whole family, really good family. And, you know, kind of just a young man, you know, quiet young man. And I mean that in a good way. What I mean is he's not no rah-rah dude. He's not out here, you know, making bad choices. Very responsible young man. And I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I'm screen shooting these comments so I can read them later. But I'm sorry if I can't, you know, focus on them now. I'm trying to drive. But I appreciate each and every one of you leaving comments. So I appreciate Junior, and again, thank you for coming out. And again, that's when you find out who your friends truly are. Again, and I'll wrap up here in a second. You find out who your friends truly are when you need a hand, right? When you're fucked up. Here's a couple Rochester NY police officers on the left here. They'll either be coming now or we'll be passing them, but they're right to the left. And again, that's when you find out who your true friends are, is when you are in need, right? When you need a hand. Thank you, Robert. God bless, Davy. Be safe. God bless you too, my brother. Thank you. And here come Rochester's finest right here. Car 241 and car D41. Look like Officer Radke, actually. That may be Officer Radke there. He's a fan. He doesn't want to admit it. He's a fan on the low. You know, we'll give him a shout out. Shout out to Officer Kevin Radke, Rochester NY Police. Like I always say, they're always welcome on my channel. I know they watch anyways, but I want them to let them know that I want them to know that they're welcome. They're always absolutely welcome. I shot that New York Jets. Find me online. Find me on Facebook. I shot your screenshot there, comment. Find me on Facebook, Twitter. Kim, be safe and peace out. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate that. Really do. Really, really do. So again, sorry to get all over the place and rant and rave and go from talking about friends to Columbo and Chips and MacGyver. But again, look at that beautiful sky. Look at that. Just look at that sky. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful. Look at the foliage. For those of you from South Florida, from parts where you don't really see all the seasons, right? And the autumns and the falls. Look at the foliage on the trees. Look at that. I hope that you can, you know, that this live is doing it some justice and you can see the pretty colors. Look at this tree coming up right here on the right. Look at this right here. Hey, hello, Shannon. Thank you for tuning in. Look at this. Look at this tree on the right. Look at this. Beautiful colors. Look up. Look at these coming up, which are in the sunlight. You can see them better. Watch these. Watch these right here. Anyways, again, if you have friends, cherish them, appreciate them, let them know that they're appreciated. I'll be honest, especially with this whole Davy V shit. And I don't say shit to put it down, but in many ways, you know, I can't have from Illinois and now Tucson, Arizona. Really miss those beautiful colors. Absolutely. Family is frequency. Absolutely. You're right. And I'll be honest, you know, I've never really considered to have friends. You know, I've been used. I've been played by a lot of people. My friendship has been violated. My trust that I had in people, they violated that trust. Stay on you on a roll. Stay on you on a roll. Oh, okay, yeah, right, I hear you. And I'll try to stay on a little longer. And you know, I've never really considered myself to have any real friends, you know what I mean? And I gotta shout out my man, yeah, right. You know, in many ways, and his family, you know what I mean, have been very open to me, and I appreciate that. And in many ways, I'm gonna share something with you guys and girls here. Little personal, but hey, that's what the channel's about, right? In many ways, this Davy V thing has taken on a life of its own. And what I mean is that, you know, at no point that I set out in the 90s when my dad, Mario Vara, passed away after, you know, committing suicide, after being harassed well over a year, almost 2 years at least, by the Rochester NY Police Department, right? Harassed, intimidated almost on a daily basis. At no time did I set out to be this, you know, activist or outspoken person in the community against police misconduct and exposing a different side that mainstream corporate America run news media doesn't show. It wasn't really a go. It kind of evolved. First, I started with my show Keep It on the Real in 1995. You can still find it. Google Davy V, Naughty by Nature, Tretch. Shout out to real old school hip hop, real hip hop. But at no time did I plan this, and it kind of took on a life of its own. You know what I mean? And before I know it, there's this, you know, Davy V thing that had already kind of taken off. My name is David, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's gonna maybe sound a little weird to y'all. And again, this is opening up to y'all. Sometimes, you know, it's kind of like, you know, not that it's a character, don't get me wrong, because it's me, of course it's me. But it's kind of like a pseudonym. You know how writers use a pseudonym, a pen name, right? When they want to write under a different name. Stephen King has done it. A lot of famous writers. So Davy V, you know, my name is not Davy. My name is David. You know what I mean? But Davy V is something that took off well over 2 decades ago, if not longer. People, girlfriends and everything always called me Davy, right? And they spelled it D-A-V-Y. So the name has always been around in one way, shape, or form or another, right? But what I'm getting at, and again, I know I'm rambling here, but what I'm getting at is that when you put yourself out here, you're open to love the colors. Southwest Oklahoma. What's good? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to you for tuning in from Oklahoma, Southwest Oklahoma. So when you put yourself out there, you know, you're open to ridicule. You're open to the trolls. My family has been harassed, threatened. My children have been stalked at their schools. Monroe County, New York area law enforcement, for the greater part, most part, has turned a blind eye to it. And you know, it's just crazy. It's so there's a lot that comes with the whole Davy V thing behind the scenes that people don't see. I have no social life. I never really did. I've never really been a club or a bar person. I don't really drink, only on a special occasion or two, if that. I'm pretty much, you know, pretty much a homebody, always been. Been single for a while. It's hard to find someone that can relate to my interests, right? To my passions. And that's okay, you know what I mean? Even collecting cars, I recently was talking to someone who said, the reason you're single is because you collect Hot Wheels cars. And basically is what he told me. And you know, stuff like that, you kind of, I mean, I respect everyone's opinions, but at the same time, I don't believe that one should change one's ways. Be you, do you. Don't change for no one, or don't change, better said, don't change to please someone. You know, change to please yourself, to better yourself. You know what I mean? Don't live for no one. In Spanish, we have a saying, yo no vivo para la gente. And basically what that means is I could give 2 shits what anyone thinks. You have a friend in me. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate it. And you know, I don't say that, honestly, I don't say that to be an asshole, right? To be like a rebel or whatever. Fuck what anyone thinks. I don't mean it like that. I just mean I don't believe in people changing who they are You know, someone said my iPad battery is dead. Oh no, you better charge that. Or you could always see the video later. That's a good thing about, you know, YouTube. We're live now, but it'll be uploaded. So listen, I really got to get off here. I'm kind of driving in circles here, but again, don't change for anyone else or to please someone. If you're in a bad relationship or a bad friendship or any kind of relationship, you know, do you. Don't waste your time. If you really feel it's not working, do you. I don't want to start giving counseling here, but I know someone like me who really doesn't consider himself to have many friends, if at all. I'm very appreciative of the people who in the last few weeks have opened up their lives and opened up themselves to me. And specifically, I'm talking about my man, Yeah Right, and his family. And Junior, thank you. Love you, bro. And what you did last night, man, I'm getting choked up here, you know what I mean? Because it's real shit. It's real shit. What you did last night, God bless you for that, my brother, because sometimes it's easy to just, hold on. Sometimes it's easy to ignore a call, right? Think about it. We all sometimes comfortable in our homes or with our family, with our friends, with our significant other, right? But it's those people that respond and are there that that I truly appreciate. The ones that don't treat me any different for who I am, right? The ones that understand me, and even if you don't agree with me, you know, and this even goes for some police officers. I've met some very nice officers who have treated me with respect, and I gotta say that, it's true. I've met some very nice Rochester, New York police officers. I met some nice Monroe County, New York sheriff's deputies, you know. Shout out to Deputy Lane, K9 Deputy Lane out of Henrietta. Shout out to you. You know, shout out to all the officers who have always treated me with respect, even if obviously we don't agree, because we're not going to agree on everything. I mean, you know, I hate to say we're on different sides, but our way of thinking is on different sides, right? They're with the blue line and that code of silence and the blue wall, and I'm trying to knock that wall down with each video. I mean, let's keep it 100, right? Let's be honest. So thank you so much. I screenshot that comment and I will read it. Thank you so much. So again, thank you to everyone who has, you know, opened their lives up to me, who has given me and offered me their friendship. And even if it's people right now on YouTube that I'll never meet probably, you know what I mean? And maybe one day we will. Maybe we'll do a meetup or something, you know? I really appreciate each and every one of you. I think a lot of you get it. I think something, like I said, makes each one of you come back for more, right? I mean, honestly, right? So again, I appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you. And again, thank you, Junior, and shout out to you, and meet up at the Cuban restaurant. Absolutely, Alicia Perez. Absolutely, Alicia. Meet up at the Cuban restaurant. Yep. Thank you for watching. Another big fan of the show, big supporter, Alicia. Thank you. 585 Rock City, Rocktown, The Rock, Rochester, New York, the ROC. Listen, I got to get off, but I love each and every one of you, and never forget that. All right? Peace. What's good? Georgia here. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of y'all.